What's up, rockers all across the world? Vanity PR, horns up. I'm here with the fine gentleman of Southern California of Limbo.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
Of course, man. Got Luke, got Jake. You guys are getting ready, rushing, packing shit, putting the dildos, lube, all that good stuff for tour.
Dude, it's a fucking bomb site right here, right now.
It
Just
is a
like
bomb site.
we're sitting on the corner of the couch because there's shirts and
merch everywhere.
fucking shit everywhere. We're getting it all ready to go. So,
Well, what's the first thing you guys think of when you got to go on tour and you're gonna pack up something? What's the first thing on your mind?
Writing the fucking list of all the shit that you gotta bring. Everything that you're gonna forget.
yeah, fucking packing the trailers. Yeah, that's the first thing I think of. Getting hot and sweaty packing that fucking wood trailer in the California sun is not my favorite shit. But
And we also store the trailer at a storage place. So we always got to go and get the trailer, bring it over, find parking.
yeah, going to get the trailer. That's how you know it's tour time. Drive up there to pick that shit up. That's how you know right there.
Well, when this interview drops live, it'll be going on the release date of the new single coming out this coming week, but they're going on tour with Candlebox for 4 dates. And you guys are driving out to Kentucky.
Yes, sir. That's where rock still lives, middle country.
That's going to be a fun drive.
Take that one nice and slow over the next few days. Hey, what's the first day? It's the 5th or the 6th?
That's the 5th.
The 5th. So we got a few days to get out there.
Did you guys miss being on tour though?
Yeah, it's amazing fun time. It's nice being home too, but yeah, I mean, whenever you go on tour for a while, then you miss home a little bit, and when you come home for a little bit, you miss touring. So it's a nice balance being able to go out as much as we have been sent out this summer.
I don't miss the van so much. I miss playing. That's the part that I miss for sure. So
you don't miss the bodily smells and just like the fresh In-N-Out burger or Whataburger is trash everywhere on the floor.
I don't miss
Just trying to sleep as you're driving through the night and hoping that it's all safe while you're one eye open.
Or hoping, I forgot who posted it. I think it was of Mice and Men, of like an old tour photo, and put a story up there about them. They just all crashed in the van, and I guess someone was trying to hijack the van while they were sleeping in it.
Oh, we've got one of those.
We do have
the very first one we ever went out on was with Joyce Wolf and Adelaide's Way, and we're up in Seattle, and we got a motel that night, but it was a real sketch area, as a lot of Seattle has become. And Luke very wisely decided that he was going to sleep in the van because we had all of our actual gear in the van. We didn't have a trailer at that time. So Luke decided he's going to sleep in the van and protect all our shit just in case. And we're all snoozing away through the night. And I wake up to hearing crazy commotion outside. So I run out with nothing but a towel and a bat. And Luke is just, what happened, Luke? What?
This vagrant came up to the van essentially and was trying to examine and force his way in through the back door, through the side door, through whatever means he could. And I woke up and twigged to it. And when he got to the back door and starting to fuck with the lock, because it's obviously dark and there's the tint of the windows, he couldn't see me, but I came right up to the glass, just slapped my hand and started shouting like as loud as I could at one moment. This dude fell back onto his ass. I rolled backwards, and there was a little bit of an incline. So he rolled back down this hill a little bit, fell onto his ass, then got up and started berating me as if I had done him wrong by calling him out and scaring him from not breaking into our van. It was mental. So that's when they all heard it. Jay came out with a towel and a baseball bat. The rest of them came out once he realized it was a group of dudes and not just one singular sleeping in a van. He was very apprehensive to fucking.
And he started making up this weird story about the siren that he heard off in the distance. So he wanted to make sure that everyone in the van that was sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch 21st Century. A couple years later, you're gonna get a lawsuit saying, "Oh, I cracked my ass because you guys didn't let me know there was someone in the van."
Seriously.
I don't know. This guy's got the lawyers on speed dial. I don't know that this guy even had a phone. He was a pretty messy unit.
And still, yes.
The tour stories. I imagine they're gonna come back within the first couple hours as soon as you get there. As soon as you cross that border over California.
Yeah, but it also falls into that. We got a song called "Let's Get Fucked Up," and one of the lines of it is "What I can't remember, I can never regret," and that's definitely one of the things that makes me think about tour life. Is shit. While lots of fun things are happening all the time, a lot of it gets forgotten until some random thing sparks it. Because yes, a lot of the time we are a little bit trash by the end of the night.
I mean, if you're sober, you're not rocking hard enough.
Yeah, I agree. It's just making. And that when we finished playing "Fight for Your Right" and "Let's Get Fucked Up" and all these party songs, especially with Buck Cherry, it's like all these people want to come and buy us shots. I'm not going to say no. That's a bit rude.
That's
Right?
yeah, it's part of our performance, like
exactly.
you can't play "Let's Get Fucked Up" without beers in your hands.
No, we'll take some cranberry juice after. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know, it's I guess poser-ish, to do that. It's like you're not.
No, I'll take a White Claw.
Yeah,
your obligation.
They want to party with us, so that's what's part of what's giving them a great night is fulfilling that role.
Part of giving me a great night too. That's for diddly damn sure.
Well, now you guys are gonna be bringing some new tracks on the road, correct?
Yeah, we've been playing a couple of them for a while live, but
Unreleased,
we're finally releasing it
officially
into the streaming world. One of them is Running Out of Time. That one's coming out August 6th.
Yep.
That one sort of just started with old kind of cowboyish westerny slidey riff that I had, and it morphed over time a little bit. Luke took it and made a little kind of adaptments here and there to it, and it became more of a rock song rather than a sort of cowboy song. And just started jamming it for a while, and eventually sort of the idea formulated around it, Running Out of Time to Run. And yeah, it became this sort of concept about how you only start really living your life to the maximum when you know that there's not that much of it left. And so many of us at this age sort of feel like we're invincible and feel like time is unlimited and you don't have to really give a shit about wasting it because we're young. We don't realize that, yeah, it's fucking ticking down faster than we think it is. And if you got, let's say, diagnosed with some kind of terminal illness and told you got 1 month to live, I bet that fucking month you'd finally live pretty damn hard and you'd put all your time and effort using it the best way possible.
It was really kind of consolidated in terms of the theme of it after we had the van accident.
Well, it's prophetic, really, because it was before the accident.
Well, we had the concept going, but it was like, okay,
the song was written, dude. We were playing it back then.
Okay.
Anyway, but it was prophetic. Prophetic in a way because we had the accident and it was like self-fulfilling prophecy of fucking damn, the
song just hit a new meaning as soon as the accident happened. It just hit a whole different level.
Totally. More extreme meaning for sure.
Now, when did you guys go to the studio to actually record it?
2020?
Yeah, I think it was August last year.
July.
There you go.
July last year.
Who'd you guys go to help mix and produce it? Because that sounds clutch. It's on point.
We've got our favorite dude to work with is Mike Pepe, and he was over at Barefoot Studios, but that is now closed down. I think Valentine sold it and they're turning it into something else. But our good friend Mike Pepe is going to find his way into the next gig that he'll be announcing pretty soon, and hopefully we can record in the future with him wherever that is.
I'm surprised he's not going to dip in and say, screw it, I'm just going to do a home studio. It's kind of like the way of the future.
We do that. We do that as well. But previously, it worked well with Mike Pepe. Yeah,
and we produced a lot of the stems here for certain things. Like we're about to do a cover for Fight for Your Right, Beastie Boys, which we're real excited about. We produced all the stems here and recorded it all here, but it also helps kind of streamline the process when you're able to, when we're on the road, send off everything. He mixes while we're on the road, record everything while we're here, jump on the road.
When you're gone.
Everything. He mixes it whilst we're gone. Then we get back and we've got a fucking new single ready to go. You know what I mean? Rather than spend that time trying to kind of go in circles and still do it whilst being on the road. That's insane. So
yeah,
it's about streamlining the efficiency of the operation, essentially.
Yeah.
Incredibly smart way of doing it.
All the time. We're only 4 dudes. There's only so much.
And he's got great ears. That's the other thing. Like it's nice to have somebody there that sometimes comes in and like it's not part of the band. It's able to give you just like an objective outside perspective and opinion on things that sometimes you get so close to something and you're your baby, and you can't see sometimes that you've got to fucking chop this part, you got to cut this part or whatever. And so he's great ears. He's very helpful in the actual
production and
formulating of it too. So yeah.
Now, Luke, you're a Gibson dude, right? You use Gibson.
Schecter, actually, we got.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I wish Gibson on.
You're not
Because
supposed
it has
to say
dude,
that. You're not supposed to say that.
Whatever. I love Gibsons. I love the Schechters too. Obviously, to me, Gibson is kind of top tier, and the feel, the sound of it. I'm just telling the truth, fuck it.
well, because it has and previous from this track and from previous work, it has a nice fat tone to it, like a Gibson, that fat kind of Gibson rock and roll sound.
It was all Schecter, wasn't it?
I think a lot of it was Schecter on Running Out of Time. There was actually some Telecaster going on in there, and there was a Gibson grabber that a grabber guitar style guitar that Mike had that I remember specifically using for heavier parts, including the chorus. So you're on point on that for sure. But it was very often he likes to, whenever we do stuff, mix up guitars just for different tones, etc., in different parts of the song. I love that too. It gets my hands on different guitars. I get to play them, feel them, whatever, and it always comes out sounding good. So yeah, there's a mixture going on there for sure.
Yeah, people never really understand. There's studio guitars, and then there's playing guitars, live playing guitars. That's a real fact.
Yeah,
Telecaster is a great example of that. That thing picks up so much noise if we try and play it live. Just hears everything from the room, electronic static.
The single coils just pick up everything, dude. When we brought on the road with Buck Chair, I like to use it for all of our cleaner stuff, but of the 21 shows or whatever, I was able to use it once. I was trying to use it every single time, but the ground hum that was coming from the venues, whether it be that or the signal interference coming from wireless or whatever fucking power lines are going on above the building, whatever was happening, it just always had this insane level of hum that was like, fuck, and no one wants to hear hum louder than the actual guitar.
But it works great in studio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same with I have a Nino Betancourt Washburn, and God, that thing records fucking amazing. But when I plug it up and play it live, again, even with any kind of noise gate I put on there, it picks up something.
Yeah.
But even then, going through it, I do appreciate that, even though you guys are a 4-piece band, and it's still, you guys don't track the music like you're bigger than a 4-piece band, but you still sound great as a 4-piece, and you can hear the bass line cutting through the mix.
Yeah, definitely. Rob's a great bass player, and we have a pretty clear line of how we like our production after trying to do it ourselves for quite a while, and then working with Mike for quite a while. We definitely like the bass to have the thick low end, but also have enough treble in it so you don't just hear sub only. You hear the fucking actual notes that are being played, and it is almost guitar-like as well as sub-like.
Now for Get It On, did you guys add another guitar in the back for a rhythm, or were you adding an overdrive pedal to the bass to give it that actual kind of behind it, like during the solos?
It was just another rhythm guitar part. Yeah, it was a rhythm guitar part essentially. We'll occasionally, in studio find ways to just beef it up, because that's what a studio song, when you do that, you're making it the best it can possibly be. And irrespective of whether, like, Jake plays rhythm guitar on a lot of our songs live, irrespective if he's actually playing on that song or not, at any given moment, then when we're recording it and doing it in the studio, it's like, okay, would this benefit from there being an extra guitar, whether or not we're going to doing that immediately live
or not?
Yeah, immediately live, like in the future, perhaps, whatever. But even immediately, if we're not doing that, would this benefit this part right here from us adding a rhythm guitar there? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then fuck it, add it in there, because it's about making that isolated product, being the song, the best thing it can be for that moment, So
I've been appreciating that as like during COVID, as much of us all did during it. As a guitar player myself, I love now picking apart, hearing a band's sound. And so listening to Get On It, I was like, it almost sounded like because now you can do it. You can slap a fuzz pedal or an overdrive pedal on a bass, and they can pick it up during the rhythm parts, whatever, to cut through it to get that sound.
Yep, absolutely.
One example of the difference between that one live and on the recording that we haven't got to yet is in the chorus. There's a slide guitar idea that comes in. We don't do that yet, but eventually, if I want to play guitar at the same time,
that's the balance that we're working with. It's really whether Jake's going to be playing some other rhythm guitar parts, but honestly, in terms of the live performance, it's more important that he's running around without a guitar attached to him, and that he's holding the microphone and
for the songs where we
being a lead singer, strutting around Axl Rose style, it is far more engaging for the audience. And like we've tested it out on other songs, etc., where he's kind of tied down a little bit with the guitar and he has some mics in. For those songs that are high energy, that are kind of party vibe, it's really predicated a lot on the fact of him holding it and fucking strutting around and moving. And it's much more important that he's doing that than having some auxiliary guitar part come in and out in the chorus that no one will fucking actually notice or care about anyway.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? They're much more focused on him dancing and fucking getting amongst it. So that's the decision that we have to weigh up in every single song, whether it's worth him moving around more and being able to have that freedom, or is the song really going to benefit from an extra guitar part being in there to thicken it up at those times?
And some we do make the choice of me sitting leashed up with the guitar.
Exactly. And some of them warrant that, but especially like I was saying, the ones where it's like party vibe, high energy, it's half of the performance of it is not even the song itself, it's our movement and jumping around and fucking dancing and pouring beer in each other's mouths. The show, exactly, the showmanship. So that's the toss-up right there.
Now with the big change of like, you know, as a musician, we are so blessed in the 21st century of all the fucking gear that has came out and whatnot. And a lot of people are starting to go down to 2x12s. You know, they're not even doing a half stack, or they're rarely even the full stack anymore, unless you're like being Yngwie and going on some crazy tour with 20 fucking full stacks. Are you guys changing up your guys' touring rig now too?
We don't even have to change it. We, from the start, when we started playing this and started getting into this, we went straight to fucking digital, dude. We went straight to Axe Effects and just kind of said, hey, a spade is a spade. This is the direction that's going. The convenience aspect of it, the reliability aspect of it, the flexibility of it.
And also at the start, we didn't have, that was our recording rig as well. When we were starting making our own demos, it's like be able to get our music into the computer as well as be something we can use live to make the tones and have it be the same.
So we run the Axe Effects for both of our guitars on stage. Funnily enough, I'll on the Buck Cherry tour, I don't think I'm going to do it for Candlebox, but on the Buck Cherry tour, I brought two 412s and was pushing at a two 412s. Jake didn't even have a cabinet.
I don't get a cabinet. I just get my monitor and it goes to the PA, and I don't even get a cab, but Luke gets double time.
I want that sustain, you know. I want that sound behind me. I've offered it to you a couple times.
It's not necessary.
Exactly.
It's the right choice.
He's played on a few songs or whatever, but like for solos and stuff, it really adds to a whole other dynamic for me when you're able to get that natural sustain from a fucking cabinet. You know what I mean? And the feedback, the sustain, exactly. And there's one thing to be able to just do it with monitors, but that adds a whole nother level of being able to actually interact with the guitar and the way that it picks up the noise, etc., that helps it a lot for solos for sure.
But it's like, even I have a portable, like it's pretty much like a mini Kemper for my multi-effects pedal that I have.
Yep.
Flamma, dude. It's like for short-term gigs, I'm gonna go play with somebody over in a different state. I can plug it straight into the PA and I'm good to go. Get my own monitor.
Exactly. That's it.
Dial the tone in, man. That's it.
Yep. That's it. It's fucking clutch, dude. The convenience, flexibility, portability, just like all the abilities. Basically, it's got everything, and the sound is comparable these days. You know, it's like it's just been improving. It started with the Line 6 pod or whatever, or even earlier. Even earlier than that, I'm sure there were earlier iterations.
Yeah, it was all the bots, the ME stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So there was all that, and you know, there was a lack of high end and fidelity for a lot of that stuff for sure. And at the time, people were like, whoa, and it just like it keeps getting better and better and better, just like AI with fucking, you know, human simulation and etc. You know, shit just keeps getting better and better and more realistic. So
now, do you think it's cheating? Like, you know, Neural DSP, correct?
Yes.
They just came out with like the mother of all multi-effects pedals, the quad core.
Okay, and then it's an actual unit, or is this
it's a unit, and you can plug it straight to the PA. You can put it to your Kemper, whatever you want to do. It can hook up to your MIDI and do everything. And one of the features of this thing is you can listen to any track. Say if you're putting a Pantera on and you want a dime riff, it will analyze the dime riff and get you that tone.
No way, it'll do it. It'll do it from an actual mixed track where there's drums and there's bass.
Or recorded.
Wow. It doesn't have to be isolated guitar tracks.
No.
Crazy.
Damn. That is insane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. Honestly, hearing it, I'm a little bit skeptical on that concept right there, but I am very open to that idea. Holy shit, that is fucking.
I think it's like it's either like 700 or $1,000 for it. It's fucking crazy. But like everyone who's been using it, they pushed it out to obviously all the big industry guitar guys, Tobin Abasi and all
Good
them.
response.
Yeah. And just like looking at the videos of it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like almost takes away of wanting to make my tone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can take the thinking out of it and it does it for you and it sounds dope, then that's the dream right there.
And it's touchscreen and it's like super hard metal. So it's like you can throw it around. I'm like, damn, you guys are just like, fuck, the iPod of freaking pedal boards.
Like
Crazy.
every 6 months or so, Luke will come up to me in my room and be like, I just cracked the code, dude. Again, because he's talking about how he's found some new parameter in the accent effects he didn't know about before. This made the modification of all his tones like that much better. He's recracked the code.
But I do tour for quick touring and making it easier, getting on the road and not have to have as much gear. It's great. But for recording, I still think getting that, I do think it sounds better versus a Kemper. Kemper does sound great for recording, but having your own pedal board and plugging in into whatever else you want to do, I think still sounds a little bit better on the analog side.
There's absolutely no question that I like to describe it often as if I can get the Axe Effects sounding a certain percentage and real amp is this percentage. If real amp is 100, it's like I'm sacrificing maybe 5, 7, 8, 9, 10% of it sometimes when I'm using the Axe Effects, but all the things that are being added on the other end of the spectrum, like I said, the portability, the flexibility, the convenience of it for live usage, people can't tell the fucking difference when there's
live, no.
going on. And more than that, the thing about real amps is every amp is different, like it doesn't matter if it's the same exact model, the way that it's wired, whatever is going into each circuit, etc. It all makes it slightly different. So the cool thing about doing it that way is that you can get truly unique sounds by using real amps. Whilst Axe Effects, if I plug in the same patch between one Axe Effects unit and another Axe Effects unit, it's going to be exactly the same.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. No kind of character and personality between them. It's just like, that's it. So
the only thing that may change with it, if you use a different guitar, different pickups, that's the only thing that's going to change it. But if you're just using the same guitar, same rig, everything, it's going to sound
exactly the same. So there isn't that kind of identity to it. So that's a cool part of using real amps for sure.
Yeah. Now you guys are on point. I would say one of the few bands that still kick ass at making great cover art, marketing for t-shirts, merchandise, and stuff like that. Like, get on it. Fucking classic album art. How did you guys come up with that?
Sure, it's Lukey boy. So we were shooting the music video for it. Our good friend Bree Crosby was shooting the music video, and while she was shooting it for us, she was also taking photos of us in these hilarious 80s wrestler outfits that we're working out in the music video. And I basically made a little montage of 4 of her photographs and then illustrated on top of it. Gave myself a bigger dick, gave Luke etc. etc.
Is that your guys' top selling shirt right now?
Well, it's only been out for a little while. We've definitely done all right with it, but this one's always going to be the one that we sell.
Yeah, classic. That was another smart design.
Whenever we have to restock on merch, large white Marlboro is always the one we got to buy the most of. Hold the most whenever we're gone.
Even for the singles, and then also you guys' first album, you guys have been on point with just the cover art in general. I think that's a lost art for bands nowadays. They kind of use a generic like wall slab with the name or something on there.
Yeah, I think the deal with that is that it's another expense for a band, and luckily we don't have that expense because that's what I do as my side job is make movie posters. So I have the Photoshop knowledge to make whatever we want. I can't fault other bands who don't get the greatest art ever because having to pay some sick photographer, having to pay some art director to come up with a concept, blah blah. That's another expense when shit. How the hell are you making money on music these days anyway? It's certainly not from 99-cent streams or whatever the hell.
99 cents is a fucking
that's it. That's if you're lucky.
Download price, 99 cents, yeah.
But even then it was like, again, this was the future. We have websites like Fiverr where you can pay some guy out in UK for like $5.
And you're gonna get your $5 worth. Not gonna come out much better than $5 worth.
But it brings up a good question then, as you said, you have the benefit as like you do that as a side gig, side hustle, doing, creative digital art.
Yep.
During, like, I make all the cover art and stuff for everything we do with Banded or like our special playlist or whatever, and took the time to learn it. Do you think these are side things that every band should know? It's like, hey, it's not.
You got two options with it, really. I mean, you become a jack of all trades, you do all your own video editing, you do all your own art, or you are Julian Casablancas and you fucking wake up rich as fuck because your dad's rich as fuck, and daddy brings all the models from his agency to all of your shows, and then you're the Strokes. That's one way it can happen. But yeah, if you don't have all the money inherited in the world, then yeah, you pretty much have to become a jack of all trades and do all your own shit and get as good as you can at it, because yeah, people are not going to work for free for you forever, and
Nor should they.
Yeah, nor should they, exactly.
Well, for one, you guys use for your next single as well, for the Beastie Boys cover, you guys use Thrasher.
Yeah, we love Thrasher.
And that is a sick cover art as long as it gets approved.
Yeah, we'll make it through. We'll make it through. They just have to get the song approved first, because it's a cover, obviously, and they have to go through some kind of process. What's it called? Foxtrot or something like that?
What?
Fox Family, with the fucking approval for music when it's a cover. Fox.
Harry Fox
Harry
Agency,
Fox.
is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It has to go through some approval process. But yes, we love Thrasher, and I'm very proud of that art.
And you guys did also mug shots for it too.
He shot those as well.
Yeah. Even when you guys tagged them, and then because we were at Opebo and he was talking about, it's like, oh dude, look what I did for Limbo. I'm like, dude, that's freaking badass. And then go figure, like, oh crap, he didn't say what it was for. He just showed the photo that he took for you guys. I'm like, that's sick.
Yeah.
It was sick. It was real guerrilla style. I have a police officer friend, and I hit him up and I'm like, dude, when's your next shift? Can you come bang this out with us real quick? He set aside like 10 minutes with his partner. They drove over to the secret location, made sure the badges are covered and the masks on his face so no one can identify who he was while he was on the clock. And then we just shot it like 5 minutes, boom, out of there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, how did you guys decide you wanted to do? I mean, you guys already been playing it live, but how did you guys decide, like, fuck it, we should make this as a live recording for Fight for Your Right?
I think it was sort of always on the cards that we were going to record it. But yeah, the response since we started playing it has been ridiculous. So we definitely solidified that it had to happen. But I think even before we started playing, we'd already began the recording.
Before we went on the Buck Cherry tour, we literally recorded the tracks for it that we sent to Mike. We recorded it like the day or the night before is when we did the final vocals for it. So we were up to like 3 or 4 a.m. doing final vocals, smashing beers when we're supposed to leave at, I think 8 is what our plan was the next day. I ended up leaving at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, like complete, degenerates. But either way, we got it done, and we definitely had it on the cards prior to the tour. But like Jake said, it was the response that we got from the crowd throughout the Buck Cherry tour was really like, okay, this is something we need to put out there because people are definitely responding to it and definitely engaging with us doing this song. So that was kind of the solidification, although the idea was already put in place before that.
Yeah.
And it's great, even when I listen to it, it's like you guys made it your own. It's not like just like a direct cover. Like covers are a big thing now. Everybody and their mom is putting out a cover of fucking something.
Yeah.
I'm also sick and tired of the zombie cover. People stop fucking doing zombie. Okay.
Zombie, the Bad Wolves and Cranberries zombie.
Yeah. Well, now everyone's doing a zombie cover.
Wow.
Everybody's doing one. I'm tired of it. But it's great. I don't think I've ever really heard anybody else even do a Beastie Boys cover. Now that I know of, like a major band.
That was part of the other thing. Yeah. Once we obviously looked that up and checked it, but I don't remember when we did look it up. I can't think of one right now.
No, yeah, there wasn't any other ones that jumped out. It was ready, it was open, and it was the right time for it because the COVID thing happened and we've been forced to not party for a long time. So everyone feels like Uncaged Animals is certainly when we were touring with Buck Cherry, I felt like that because they just released or loosened the restrictions in many of these cities.
Yeah.
So everybody was ripe and ready for partying.
Yeah. Hang out again.
Yeah.
Well, now you guys are gonna have 3 singles technically released this year.
Yeah.
Probably even more than that,
Maybe
dude, yeah.
4. There might be.
Oh, maybe 4. And
Yeah.
then My Kind of Girl last year.
Yep.
Are all these gonna be part of an EP, or are you gonna just leave them separate as singles, or and just focus on a new EP work, album work?
Right now we are selling a CD that's got a lot of these songs only while we're on tour. We're not selling on our website or anywhere else, but that has a lot of these songs and yet to be released ones on it as well. But as far as the release for streaming, I think we're just going to keep down this path we have of going single by single. And then let's say there's enough singles, we might compile it into some sort of EP.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, it's very much about what the head honchos and the label want to do too, and what they think is the best way of going forward. And just in terms of us at this point in time, not only financially, but also in kind of squeezing the most juice out of every single song. You know, it just makes more sense right now to be doing it more in the single realm. Like you said, like you do Fight for Your Right. It allows us to have an album art, but then more than that, we can do mug shots and stuff like that are just like promo material, and you can build up hype, you can build up kind of suspense for every single song. If you kind of just, these days, it feels like if you blow your load, at least in our perspective and our current situation, you blow your load and do an album straight away. If we do 10 songs, I feel like there's going to be 4 maximum that really get listened to by a lot of people and get recognition. Whilst if you really focus on single by single, it's at least making sure that the listener is getting you're getting their full attention for every single song, as opposed to a lot of them falling on deaf ears, I guess. That's what I say it.
And also you have the opportunity with the single art rather than just the album art. You can give each song its own visual identity, like we did with the Thrasher photo you're talking about, or the Get On It art or whatever. If it was just a generic full album cover, that album cover has to represent
all the songs.
Yeah. And sometimes the art for, let's say, Get On It, it'll give a completely different context to the listener than they would have had if they had not had the art associated with it.
We had a whole bunch of people when we did Get On It, and we sent it to prior to the art being released, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is cool. This is cool." And then Jake did his whole promo campaign of, you know, build in all these different promo fucking art, etc., leading up to the album art, where it was each character individually doing like little movements and little like that, and shaking, and beers being held and stuff. And people started to get this kind of vision of the culture and the idea behind the song. And then once the actual album art was released in conjunction with the song, the same people that said before, like, "Oh, this song's pretty good," they came around like, "Dude, this is the best thing done." You know what I mean? It's like, for people, sometimes they need that visual aid to help them really get the understanding.
To set the mode and energy for the song.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Now, are you guys gonna do? I know a lot of bands are doing this singles as vinyl.
Wow.
We'd love to, dude. I guess I know people would buy it. It's just about
especially if you didn't forget it, Get On It, and then also for Fight for Your Right, and then have like inside of it, whatever the montage, your guys' mug shots on there.
The tough part with it is what the minimum runs for vinyl are. Erica Records or something like that. I just did some vinyl art for a dude we know here in Long Beach, and he was talking to me about what the minimum run is, and it's like, you got to put in like $1,500 just to get the minimum run, and then how many you fucking have to sell to get your $1,500 back
at least.
So that's something we would like to do, but shit, we're not made of money at the moment, so we're trying to do whatever we can as it comes.
Yeah, but you guys are still on point with the merchandise and ideas that you guys are doing now.
Thanks, brother. Yeah.
Do you guys have that special little EPC around you guys right now for everyone to see?
Good question.
That's a great thing for everyone to know.
As I said, we're not selling it online because it's a bunch of unreleased material, but if you do come to one of our Candlebox shows, there will be, I think we got about 300 of them left. We sold a shitload of them at the Buck Cherry tour because that was 21 dates, but I think we should do pretty well with the remaining ones, even in these 4.
Yeah, even though people don't have CD players anymore, it's like they're putting it into their MacBooks or their laptops, and
Yeah,
pretty much-
I talk to people about that a lot, and they usually say that, yeah, I've still got a CD player in my car. A lot of people still have them in their cars, and that's a great place to listen to music because you're actually concentrating on the music rather than dicking on your phone at the same time.
How about your opinion on cassette players coming back, cassette tapes stuff? I was like, I didn't understand that. I was just,
I don't get it either. I think it's quite it's just another thing to sell, which is awesome. And if some people like that and they want the little novelty of it, that's great. But mine will make sense in a sonic realm because it sort of ties the sound together and gives it a warmth and everything like
yeah.
that. But just tape makes no sense other than the fact it's like, oh, this is cool in 80s style. You're not getting any better sound quality aspect of it. And who the fuck has tape players? I don't know. But if, hey, people are selling them and people are buying them, I got no problem with it.
So tour CD for anyone that's coming to the
Candlebox
shows. That's this bad boy right here.
Thrasher took that photo.
I
Yeah.
was about to
No,
say
he
it.
No, he
No,
did
he
not.
didn't.
No,
He
he did
didn't.
not.
Michael
No,
June
yeah,
took that photo.
don't fuck him. But in terms of old people out there that aren't coming to the Candlebox shows, this one is the most recent available that you can buy online, and it's our Nothing But Now EP. Jake, actually, for each one of these, we've only got, I think, 30 left that are available, or something. 20 left that are available. Jake does a personal hand-drawn art piece on the inside cover for every person that buys it. So
That's
it is a unique piece. He's going to show you one of the latest art pieces that he's done for somebody that I don't know where that's going, but it's going to someone. So yeah, if you want a little piece of unique of Limbo history right here,
Never to be made again.
yeah, jump online.
Only 100 in production
Ever. Yep. So 20 left.
The only way I could see if you guys would do the cassette player tape packaging, best idea, take what you want. I just thought of it right now. If you
Hit me.
take the Marlboro logo, put it in it, but make it like a best of Limbo take, only
So it's
one
like
off
a
tape
cigarette
series.
case, like a cigarette case with the
Yeah.
tape.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight, actually. Yeah. Like you're actually buying a pack of cigs, but it's a fucking cassette tape.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Hell yeah.
And make it the best of Limbo.
Yep.
Or just
Yep.
have like one track that you guys can't hear anywhere else, just on the tape.
Yep.
That's a cool idea too. Yeah.
Yep. That's really good. That'll definitely get some sales then for sure.
Maybe it's 5 for your right.
Well, we're releasing that, so that
Yes,
can
we are.
But now if you guys are blown up, best case scenario in the fucking world, you guys are gonna headline your own tour. Who would it be? Who would you take on tour with you guys?
Shit. People that we're friends with
Yeah,
that haven't had a run at it yet. I really love Whiskey and the Wolves. They're a great band. Paradise Vultures are a phenomenal band.
Yeah, no, Lucas. Lucas is a good dude.
Yeah, Lucas is a great guy. Tommy Center and Art and those boys are great from Paradise Vultures.
or
too.
even some of the dudes that I mean have had a run, or a lot of run at it that we've been fucking playing with forever. I'd love to go on fucking one with Joyous again.
Yeah,
Joyous
but he's
Wolf.
saying if we headlined it, and right now, if we were going with Joyous Wolf would be
Okay,
headlining.
whatever. I'm saying ideal situation. though. So
Okay.
I'm just answering in people.
Ideal situation, Nick. You're opening for me.
Yeah, whatever. The Joyous Wolf boys, the Evil Boys, we're anyone that we've fucking been developing this this scene with and playing in LA with for these years. Like we have a lot of friendships based off of that, and I love all those dudes. So just being able to party and hang out with them would be a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
The one thing I love about the police, because you guys are in Long Beach, but you're really kind of like OC. You're kind of the OC boys.
in the middle,
It's
in
really
the middle
playing
for
the
sure.
middle,
Yeah.
Long Beach, I wouldn't put it in the OC world or the LA world. Long Beach,
But it's like, but you guys are still kind of like the OC rock family. Like everyone that you
Yeah,
played
for
with,
sure.
we're part of the OC rock scene. It's like there's definitely, I think there's a scene between the LA scene and the OC scene.
Well, yeah, but I mean, same time, Evils and Joyous Wolf have been playing Viper Room with us for just as we've all been playing Wayfarer. It's kind of like, I don't know if there's even such a thing as a scene up there anymore. It's just people from all around Southern California converge to play. Oh, I'm going to play the Vibe Room. I'm going to play the Whiskey. I'm going to play blah, blah, blah. It comes from all different angles to go out there. There's not really like the Sunset Strip scene that there was in the 80s and 90s.
No, there's one place though, one local spot. I think every SoCal band has played there at one point in their life. That's sadly no longer around. Slide Bar.
What?
Crazy.
Slide Bar's gone?
Slide Bar is done.
Why?
Dude.
Because of COVID?
Yes, and from what I heard, I guess the owner, his son graduated college and left.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the double whammy. He's like, okay, my son's gone, COVID's hit, fuck it.
Gotcha.
Wow. Are there any kind of what's it turning into? Like, is it just a
Nobody
restaurant?
knows. It's
Nobody
like if
knows.
you go over there, if you go over to what's that whiskey bar right next to it? Forgot its name. Hopscotch.
Yeah.
If you go to Hopscotch, all you see is Slide Bar and just an empty spot. It has all the signs, everything's on there, still says Slide Bar and all that good stuff, but just ghost.
That's wild.
Crazy, dude.
Drive
Yeah,
the
we played, speaking of Joyous Wolf and Evils, we played one of our first like big inaugural when we were all fucking coming up and doing it. We had it was called the Lost Highway show, and it was a competition to play for a Harley Davidson motorcycle festival somewhere outdoor somewhere. This is probably 2017 or 2018 when we were really starting to get the engine cranking in terms of the live thing. We've been writing music at that point, but we were just starting to get into the live thing. And it was a competition and we all made it through. There was like a preliminary round or whatever. I don't like calling it a battle of the bands, but that's essentially what it was.
Harley Rock of the bands.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone had made it through their own preliminary round or whatever, and then the final show where it was like the decision was being made was us, Joyous Wolf, Them Evils. I think it was Well Hung Heart was the last one there. It might have been Thunder Gut. I'm not sure at that point. It was definitely us three and a couple others. And we did it. It was a fucking sick ass show. Either way, there was a competition and we were all looking for this Harley Davidson spot. The Evils boys ended up taking it at the end, which is honestly the most appropriate in terms of a Harley Davidson festival. Like they're much more fucking motorcycle and in that regard, it's much more appropriate than any of our music for sure. But I remember that was at Slide Bar, and that was like a huge event. We had played there maybe once before, but that was the time that it was really like, okay, it was a completely packed house. There was a DJ up front and they were cranking just like uns for all the people up front. And then you go to the back room and it's just a whole bunch of fucking long hairs and smoking hot chicks fucking wearing tiny black dresses coming out for a fucking rock show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So Slide Bar definitely holds a place in our heart.
And we got tits on stage.
Yeah, we got tits on stage that night. Yeah, it was great. Grab the photo. Grab it. It's on the fridge. It's on the fridge. We got it on the fridge. He's gonna grab it.
Because everybody's played there, man. Treyu, Escape the Fate, Adelita's played through there, Lynch Mob. Everybody and their mama has gone through Slide Bar at some point in their
We
life.
played with Adelita's in there. Did he say Adelita's?
Adelita's.
Yeah.
We played with Adelita's way in there.
There's some Slide Bar titties for you. Boom. Shout out to Michelle.
Yeah, shout out to Michelle. The judge came up after. No, it wasn't the judge. It was the sound man. The sound man came up after to us, and he's like, "Man, I've been working sound at Slide Bar for like, I don't know, 7 years, something like that. I ain't never seen no titties on stage."
That was definitely tight.
Yeah.
Oh man, rest in peace, Slide Bar. I mean, that'd be the best case scenario. Someone takes over it and they continue the name, but there's nothing
That's
about
a
it.
pretty
I
outside chance.
Yeah. And they actually, one of the great things about that place, they actually fucking pay bands properly.
Yeah.
Owned by the guy who was in Lit, right? So he
Yeah.
fucking treated us properly.
Yeah, and like, that was one of the spots we always knew if we're playing there, we're getting like a proper check. It's not this bullshit. No pay to play, obviously, but a lot of places, well, they wouldn't justify being able to pay bands, even if you don't have to do the pay to play thing. There would be no serious income from it or whatever. Slide Bar always treated us good. Always fucking gave us food tickets, drink tickets, like made sure it was a dope. I remember very vividly the hospitality that they showed to their bands. So rest in peace is damn right.
Now turning up for fun. Rock icon band big rock icon band that you guys would love to tour with, go on tour. They asked you guys to be supporting act for them.
I don't know if they would be big rock icon band, but one that I would love to tour with that I just heard the new single of yesterday is Thrice. I think Thrice has evolved into a completely different beast than they were when they were originally sort of famous dudes that were in high school that are now my age. But they've evolved into something that's so much more on the direction that we've been headed for a long time. I think Thrice would be a great one.
I've even just dubbed their sound as like, they went from that kind of like that emo rock stuff in the early 2000s to now like almost like a rustic rock and roll alternative.
Yeah, definitely alternative in there, and it's like it's got a lot of experimental, interesting tones and great guitar riffs and great catchy melodies with good hooks. It's pretty much exactly along the lines of what we do, but in a different direction of it. Who else? Shit. I mean, you want to talk big ones? Queens of Stone Age?
Yeah, Queens of Stone Age would be ridiculous. For me playing opening for fucking Alice in Chains would be my absolute dream. Like that's it right there. That's the pinnacle. But
hey, freaking Jerry Cantrell just announced that he's gonna be doing his own solo album. Maybe for him, dude.
I heard the new single yesterday. It's great.
It's good. Yeah. Real good. I'd also love, although it's obviously not the same party vibe that it was, Guns N' Roses would just be the tits, really, because in terms of
stadium,
obviously stage, I guess movement and presence. I definitely can say personally, and I think everyone in the band can say it. And I watch Slash videos and like watch how he's running and how he's moving, and there's like a level of emulation definitely, because those guys, I think more than any other band and better. Van Halen did it a lot too, obviously, but I think fucking Guns in terms of movement and like performance and shit like that, that was the absolute peak, absolute pinnacle of that. And
those not like the early 90s or late 80s fucking Ritz, those live videos that you can find when they were just sort of really starting to explode. The energy is fucking crazy.
So I certainly emulate a lot of that sort of shit. So to be able to actually share the stage with the people that you idolize in that regard would be, probably the cream of the crop for me.
Hey, you never know, man. A lot of times with these big, especially like we talk about Alice in Chains and like Guns N' Roses or even like Van Halen, and when they've done these big tours, stadium tours, they've always taken like, ironically, they always take a smaller band with them.
Of course,
for openers. Then it's never like, Guns N' Roses and Alice in Chains tour together. It's a huge band and a smaller band. So
exactly. Yep. So leaving the door open, dude.
Yeah.
Fingers are crossed.
And they're still alive. Knock on wood.
But hey, same time, we're very, very honored to be opening up for Buck Cherry and now Candlebox too. I mean, these are bands that we've respected and looked up to as well. That's a great honor.
Yeah, when I heard you guys were going on Candlebox tour, I'm like, dang, I haven't heard that name for a minute, but that's great that they're back.
Yeah, back in action. New album.
Well, dudes, man, good luck on your tour. Safe travels and drive, man. You guys gonna have a long road tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate you taking the time. This is awesome.
Yeah, mate.
Of course, man. I know we were gonna try to do it in person, but I know our schedules are crazy. We're only like freaking 20 miles from each other. But next time you guys
get back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll meet for a drink.
Yes, buddy.
All right.
I'll say hi to them Eagles for you tonight.
Do it, man.
Trash. That's tonight. Yeah. Fuck yeah. That was a sick one, dude.
It's gonna be stupid. It's Wayfair.
Have a drink on me.
Yeah.
Come on. If you come out sober at Wayfair, you did not go to Wayfair.
No.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, guys. Have safe. This interview will be dropping live this week. Actually, we will probably drop it on the 5th because that's your guys' first date, correct?
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah, on the 5th. So then their new single comes out on the 6th. So I'll be pumping out live, which also will be in conjunction with this interview with the review of their latest single going with it.
Love it, dude.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you so much, man.
Later, mate.